What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Bears Profit Plays YouTube channel. If you enjoyed the content in this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel below. Also, be sure to stick around to the end of this video for a quick message from our team. Let's get into the video. All right, Trey, let's get into some MLB picks and props for Wednesday, August 2nd, slate of games. Let's take a look at that leaderboard. Starts off.
Yes, I'm currently 0 for 0, but I have the chance to go 2-0 because I gave out the Los Angeles Dodgers minus 1.5 on the full game run line and the over 9 total runs in the same game versus the Athletics. And this game just started. It's currently in the bottom of the second inning while we are recording, and it's 0-0 at the moment, but I have complete faith in both of these bets to cash for us.
Yeah, Trey, I had the Chicago Cubs team total over 4.5 runs scored, and before I could even sit down with my dinner to watch the Cubs game, they had scored 5 runs before they recorded an out in the first inning. So we cashed the play without an out being recorded. I would love to say it was a fun watch, but I didn't get to watch any of it. So we did cash. We go 1-0. Hopefully we sweep the board tonight as a team as well. Let's take a look at our plays for tomorrow, though. Start us off.
Yes, I'm going to be attacking this New York Mets at Kansas City Royals game. And these two teams came into the season with very different expectations, but one way or another, they find themselves in similar positions at the moment. And the Mets, they seem to be punting on making the playoffs because they traded away Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer. And they only find themselves 6 games behind the Brewers, Marlins, and Diamondbacks for the last spots in the NL wild card with a 50-55 record, 24-32 on the road this season. But Kansas City, they find themselves with the second worst record in the entire MLB with an embarrassing 32-75 record, 18-36 at home this season. But for one reason and one reason only, I'm going to be taking the Mets minus 1.5 on the full game run line in this game. And that reason is because Kansas City, they're throwing out a rookie pitcher in this game who has been absolutely brutal this season for them. And that guy is Alec Marsh. And Marsh, he has an 0-5 record with a 7.04 ERA paired with an embarrassing 1.83 whip. So look for the Mets to just jump on him early in this game. I was thinking about the Yurfee, but I don't have the balls that Bear does to throw out the Yurfee. The Yurfee is just too scary for me to attack. But New York, they are throwing out Kadai Singa in this game, and he's pitched in 19 games for them this season, and he's been decent because he's turned that to a 7-5 record with a 3.17 ERA paired with a 1.23 whip. And with Kansas City being the second lowest scoring team in the MLB this season, only averaging 3.77 runs per game, I just have a lot of confidence in this Mets team to cash this bet. So give me the New York Mets minus 1.5 on the full game run line versus the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, Trey, I like that play. For my play today, I'm going to be looking at the Baltimore Orioles going up against the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm going to take the Toronto Blue Jays on the money line at minus 123. The Orioles have the Blue Jays number at home right now, winning the last 2 games against them in Toronto. I think that's all going to change in this game as the Blue Jays are throwing out Yusei Kikuchi, who has been fantastic in his last 3 games for the Blue Jays. Over his last 3 games, he's pitched in 16 innings, giving up just 2 earned runs over those 3 games. He has brought his ERA down to below 4 in the season, and he's going to be the more reliable guy on the mound with Grayson Rodriguez on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles. It's been a very up and down year for Grayson Rodriguez, having allowed 4+ earned runs in 4 of his last 7 starts. He had what I thought was his best performance of the season in his last start against the Yankees, going 6 1/3, and then giving up just 3 hits and 0 earned runs against them. But like I said before, he is very inconsistent this season, coming in with a 6.21 ERA, and this is going to be a very tough matchup for him going up against the Toronto Blue Jays, who are top 5 in the MLB in hitting. Give me the Blue Jays on the money line as they avoid the sweep at home tomorrow. Trey, let's move over to the player props. Start us off.
Yeah, we had a rough day yesterday, mainly my fault because I gave out Ron Acuna Jr. over 9.5 fantasy score versus the Angels and Spencer Strider over 10 strikeouts versus the Angels as well. And I gave out Acuna over 10.5 yesterday. Then it came out at 11.5. And then by game time, it dropped all the way down to 9.5. It was just a lot of weird line movement. And the line movement seemed to be warranted because Acuna, he went 0 for 2 in this game with 2 walks. And he got caught stealing. So it was a rough day for him overall. So he only finished with 4 fantasy points. And Strider, he just rubbed salt in the wound because Bear, he sent me a Snapchat and it just sent me full send because it was rough. I gave out over 8.5 because that's what he was projected, at least in his last game against the Red Sox. And then he came out at 10, so I rode the 10, and he finished with 9 strikeouts. And he pitched a great game, going 6 2/3 innings, only allowing 1 run on 5 hits. So he did do a great game, but he did not strike out enough batters. Who would have thought 9 strikeouts wouldn't cash an over strikeouts prop?
Yeah, Trey, that was upsetting. I was recording it and sending you videos of it. I will say, though, the stash tonight was on point. So at least we had the mustache game going for him. I had the double pitching prop going with Justin Steele under 2.5 earned runs and Brian Bayo under 2.5 runs as well. Justin Steele didn't cash early on in the game watching the Cubbies. Justin Steele was having a little bit of problems, mainly because Tucker Barnhart could not catch a ball behind home plate. He had 3 people run on him from wild pitches. 1 run scored on the wild pitch. And in my opinion, Barnhart probably should have stopped a couple of those balls, but maybe not all of them. I know a couple of them, all he had to do was drop to his knees and it would have been stopped. But Justin Steele had a bad game tonight. He allowed 9 hits, a couple errors in the field that were allowed as hits. I don't know how official errors are scored in the MLB anymore. I thought I knew. Now I don't anymore. So just a weird game for Justin Steele. Was not his best stuff, but was not a good performance, was not a good pick. So that one did lose. And then for Brian Bayo as my other play, it looked like this play was going to be over quick in the first inning. He had bases loaded, 1 out, pitching meeting and on the mound for him, and he got out of that like a pro. So very good for him. Only allowed 1 run in the first inning, and he's been very good ever since. So hopefully he does cash for us. But Trey, let's look at our plays for tonight. Start us off.
Yes, I'm going to be attacking Francisco Lindor here. Over 1.5 total bases versus the Kansas City Royals. And I am taking a little bit of a risk here with Lindor over 1.5 total bases, but I do expect him to get a hold of 1 pitch early while Marsh is pitching. And then we just need him to get on base 1 more time throughout this game, which is easily doable. And I expect him to attack Marsh because that's what batters have been doing against him all season long. And in his 5 games started this season, he's turned that into 19 runs allowed on 24 hits, 9 home runs, while walking 19 batters as well. He's been absolutely brutal for them this season, and he has a 1.82 whip. And Lindor, he had his best month of the season in July whenever he bat 275 with a 382 on base percentage as well. And I expect him to want to keep the momentum going into August. And with this being a road game, it does give me a little bit more confidence as well because Lindor, he's only batting 211 at home, but batting 256 on the road. So look for him to be a little bit more comfortable in the batter's box in this road game. So give me Francisco Lindor to go over 1.5 total bases versus the Royals.
Yeah, try to like it. For my betting prop tonight, I'm going to be looking at Lars Nootbaar to go over 1.5 bases against the Minnesota Twins. This has been a very good season for Nootbaar, now batting 273 on this season. He is coming into this game after collecting 7 hits over the last 4 games, and 3 of those 7 hits have been home runs. Typically, this is not a power guy, only having 10 home runs on the season, but having 3 in the last 5 games caught my eye for sure. He is seeing the ball very well right now, collecting a hit in 5 consecutive games and having 2 multi-hit games in those 5 games as well. He's going to get a favorable matchup against Joe Ryan, who has been struggling over his last several starts, giving up 7+ hits in 3 of his last 5 appearances. Joe Ryan earlier this season was fantastic for the Minnesota Twins, but he's going through a bit of a slump. And until we see him get back on track, I'm going to bet against him. Give me Lars Nootbaar over 1.5 bases against the Twins as my first play. Trey?
Yeah, so my pitching prop, I'm going to be going with Braxton Garrett over 5.5 strikeouts versus the Phillies. I've really enjoyed throwing out Garrett strikeout props this season. And usually I do it whenever he's pitching on the road because he's 3-1 on the road with a 2.65 ERA compared to a 2-2 record with a 5.4 ERA when pitching at home. But for some reason, he still loves to strike out batters at home, and he strikes them out at a much higher clip when pitching at home in the Miami Heat. Because in his 10 home games, he averages 6.2 strikeouts per game, which is over this number. And Garrett, more often than not, he does hit this 5.5 strikeout number because he's hitting 6 out of his 10 home games, which is a 60% hit rate. And I do expect it to continue in this game versus the Phillies because they love to strike out. Overall this season, they've struck out the 4th most times with an average of 9.23 times per game. But over their last 3 games, they've somehow struck out at an even higher clip because they've struck out an average of 10 times over that span. So Garrett should ensure that that continues in this game. So give me Braxton Garrett to go over 5.5 strikeouts versus the Phillies.
Yeah, try to like that play. For my pitching prop tonight, I'm going to be looking at Gerrit Cole to go under 2.5 earned runs allowed against the Tampa Bay Rays. Since the All-Star break for Gerrit Cole, he has pitched in 3 games, and in all 3 games, he went 6+ innings and has only given up a combined 10 hits in those 3 games. He is on fire, giving up just 3 earned runs in those 3 games as well, bringing his ERA down to 2.64 on the season. Almost as low as Justin Steele, but after tonight, Justin Steele is probably not going to be that low. But not only has he been very good at keeping the runs off the scoreboard, he is striking out a lot of batters at a very good clip after the All-Star break as well. He has 27 strikeouts in the last 3 games and has managed double-digit strikeouts in 2 of those 3 games. Tonight, he will be going up against the Tampa Bay Rays, who have fallen outside the top 10 in team batting average, now hitting 254 on the season. Gerrit Cole against the Tampa Bay Rays has struggled in his career, posting a 2-7 record against them. But since 2022, Gerrit Cole has had 6 starts against the Tampa Bay Rays, and in 5 of those 6 games, he went under 2.5 earned runs allowed, only allowing a combined 5 runs total in 5 of the 6 games. In the one game he didn't go under 2.5 earned runs, he allowed 5. So he has been much better against the Rays in recent starts, and I like him again to go under 2.5 earned runs against them tonight as my last play of the night. I also wanted to point out the Cubbies just put up 20 on the Cincinnati Reds, so if you're looking for a second free play, take the Reds on the money line tomorrow. They're probably going to be pissed off. But guys, that'll do it for our MLB player props and game picks for Wednesday, August 2nd slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure drop a like in this video and subscribe to the channel below. We'll see you guys next video, and thanks for watching. Just want to let everyone know that while we do give out free picks, plays, and predictions on our YouTube channel, we also have a website for you to check out. On our website, bearsprofitplays.com, you can subscribe to the website absolutely free with an email and gain access to our written articles about upcoming sporting events. If you're really looking to make some cash, we have an option to become a member of our website. If you become a member, you will gain access to our Locks of the Week, which are written articles that go in depth as to why we are picking that particular outcome. As of now, our member plays have been red hot, hitting over 60% of our plays. If you don't want to become a member, it's no sweat. We are here to try and make you guys some money. That's our main goal. So come on over to bearsprofitplays.com and subscribe for free. Check us out, follow our free picks, and see for yourself that our member plays are a great investment for you. Thanks for watching.